Verifier is used for verifying emails before sending. It helps you to avoid hard bounces in future email campaigns. The demo version has no restrictions and limits except for exporting the verification results. It allows you to evaluate the functionality of the software and figure out whether it suits your needs. You need to have a registered version of the software to remove the trial limitation. Click here, enter the key, and click on the Activate button. Make sure to right-click on the desktop shortcut to launch the program as administrator for its proper work. The software license should be used on one PC only for registration to comply with license agreement terms. In case of necessity to move the key to another PC, click Help, Registration, Deactivation, and confirm the action. Let's take a closer look. We'll start with importing our emails. You can import emails with additional data in separate columns. It will be preserved after the export. Click on the Verify button. In the dialog box, we should specify the correct hello value and the valid email address. Usually, the software determines hello value automatically, but in case it is not determined, you can click on the Detect Manually option. Then copy and paste the value from the Open Up web page here and click OK. Once the mentioned values have been defined, you can proceed with email validation itself. Click OK and wait for the verification results to be shown. According to the status, the email 911@arampark.com is valid and marked green. By right-clicking on the email, we can check the verification log with the Email Exchange Server Exists message represents the domain check step, and Mailbox Exist stands for an SMTP check. The verification of 922@arampark.com shows the email as invalid, and if we check the verification log again, we see that Mail Exchange Server exists and Mailbox does not exist. So the result is completely accurate. As an example, we have two emails and one of them with wrong spelling gmail.com server. This email is marked with red color as invalid. The verification log shows us domain does not exist, but the same email address with the correct domain is marked in green color and it's valid. Atomic Email Verifier checks emails for syntax errors, for example, order missing characters, on the first step of verification. The next step is the domain check. The software initiates MX record lookup to the DNS server. Each step mentioned can be either performed individually by hitting the Verify Syntax and Verifying Domain option, or all together after an email list import. On the third step, the program sends an SMTP query to an email server concerning a specific mailbox existence. This step only works if you have port 25 open by your internet service provider. In order to check whether it's open or not, please click on the right button and follow the given instruction. Let's check the common settings of the software. In the Proxy tab, you can add servers by clicking on the green plus and specifying a proxy address and a port number. If a server requires authentication, enter its credentials. Highlighting all the servers listed, check a proxy connection by hitting the corresponding button. So here we can see the results. Dead servers can be further removed with the red cross button. This verification method should be especially useful when the port 25 is closed or IP blacklisted on a site. Leave the DNS tab default configuration. Do not make any changes. The same is in the SMTP tab. Leave the thread count and retrace count values by default, which considered to be the most appropriate option. In the From Address field, one email can be specified to several by checking the box Use random from the list. Emails can be validated by means of the PHP script placed at your website cPanel. This is another option suggested when you encounter the port 25 blocking issue. You can check all the details on following the page. Validation results are saved by referring to the Export Wizard menu and picking any available file format, including copying to the clipboard. To carry out subsequent operation with the valid emails, you can either select Atomic Email Sender to send newsletters to, or Atomic List Manager to perform various manipulations with your mailing list as necessary future campaign arrangement. As a result of this effective 3-level email verification process, the email validation software allows you to eliminate the maximum number of inactive email addresses. If you've already purchased any of our software services, you can get 20% off discount from your member area or contact our technical support team in order to get